In my screen, I have received my paper pumpkin kit. Kind of surprised that when I opened up my door this morning, which is a Sunday, that it turned out there was my paper pumpkin kit right in front of my door. I kind of expected that this thing was going to get shipped back because of the whole address debacle between the post office, UPS, et cetera, et cetera. But pleasantly surprised that I did actually got this was delivered just before 5 o'clock yesterday on Saturday. And yeah, it was actually still sitting outside my door this morning. So I'm stoked that I have it. Box looks a little beaten up, but all of the contents inside still good to go. Let me just make sure this is straight because I can see in my laptop here that yeah, I'm just like way off and wonky and crooked and kind of like things to be a bit straight. So I think I have it and I think we're good to go. Yep, looks good. So let's carry on. So before we open up the my kit, so what I do first off, if you are new here to my channel, I do have some set days in which I have certain video content that I put out. Of course, everything is around Stampin' Up! Product. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Memphis, Tennessee. On Thursdays, those are my throwback Thursdays. That's where I pull out my retired stash and I create two projects. I do this every Thursday. So every week there's a throwback Thursday video. I have plenty of retired products, so I have plenty to work with. On Fridays at 7 p.m. Central, I have my Friday Night Live here in the studio. So I pull current product right now. I'm working through what's online exclusive and what is it? This September through December mini catalog. That's all Christmas. So I have a lot of product, and my goal is to kind of use it before the year is out. So I may change something up a little bit in the month of December and add some extra video content during the week. Typically, there's at least 2 videos a week, but I may add a little bit more just so that way I can accomplish that goal that I have. I do have a lot of the new products, so I want to definitely use it while it's still available. Um, and of course, there's my paper pumpkin. When the paper pumpkin kits come in, I do an unboxing, kind of show you what's in it. I give you some info and some sneak peeks into what's coming up. And then I create one of each of the projects that's in the kit. So for this month, this is the Wrapped in Cheer kit, and this makes a gift tag slash gift box combination. So it makes a total of 8, and there's 2 different designs. So we'll be making 2 of those today. Um, then I think as far as videos go, oh, and then there is one more. On the first of each month, I like to do a monthly Christmas card inspiration. This is where I may use a retired or current product that is Christmas themed. And I do this, and there's 2 fairly simple duplicatable cards, and this is to give you inspiration if you are someone that you want to make your Christmas cards rather than buying the store bought. This gives you a little bit of inspiration. Now, if you don't have the stamp sets that I'm using, use something, that maybe use something that you have. Maybe use like either the same color combination or maybe the layouts that I use. But if you don't have those particular stamp sets, use what you have. So again, this gives you inspiration to create throughout the year rather than waiting towards a lot closer to Christmas when things are getting crazier, and then there's a possibility that that's one thing you don't get accomplished. So I have those videos as well. I do have a monthly newsletter that I do send out typically near the beginning of the month, In that newsletter, I do have my video content for that month. So for each of those days that I'm doing video, I'm letting you know what product, what stamp set or bundle or suite that I'm going to be using. I also let you know about, okay, I'm going to be doing this particular paper pumpkin for the month. However, I can never give you an exact day that I'm going to do the video because I just never know exactly when I'm going to get my kit from the in the mail. So that's so in the newsletter I have all of that. I have all my video content in there. Anything that I'm doing, anything that Stampin' Up has doing going on, any other news. If you want catalogs, I got the links in there. And then also every month, Stampin' Up comes out with either 2 or 3 new kits in their kits collection. And I give you a sneak peek of a picture of what the projects look like and then what exactly is in the kit as well. So if you are interested in receiving my newsletter, if you look in the description of the video, I do have a link that you can click on to subscribe to my newsletter. When you click on that link, you just add your first and last name and your email address, and you're good to go. Now, I only typically send, usually for the most part, I send out only one newsletter a month, again, near the beginning of the month. But sometimes after I've already done that, Stampin' Up! May come out with a promotion. And a lot of times, we don't get a heads up that these promotions are coming. So I may send another newsletter, but a bit modified to include that information, just so you're kind of like in the loop as to what is going on. So again, if you're interested in that, I do have the link for it in the description. Now, before we get going on our kit here, a couple of things that I just want to make mention to you. So for the month of December, this is the watercolor in bloom kit. The subscription period for this kit opened up on November 11th, and then it goes through December 10th. In this kit, show your love and appreciation with rich watercolor hues and elegant botanical flourishes. It'll make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. There are copper foil and copper sequins, pre-cut paper and vellum pieces. The coordinating colors in this particular kit is copper, garden green, night of navy, which is also the classic Stampin' Spot, pretty peacock, secret sea, and shaded spruce. You can personalize your card greetings with customizable sentiment stamps. Then also there is some coordinating add-on dies that coordinate with the October, November, and December kits. And these dies are called the Abundant Joy dies, and I actually have them right here that I can show you. So in the dies, you have your stitched joy. You got 2 elements here to do a flower. You got a nice tag. Actually, this tag is the same tag that is going to be in the kit that we are going to put together today. And then you got 2 leaf elements as well in here. So in order to get the coordinating dies, you do need to be a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber. The price of the dies here in the US is $12. Um, and the item number for it for this particular set is 167855. And here in the US, they are $12. And like I mentioned, you do need to be a subscriber in order to receive these. Now, in the online store, under Paper Pumpkin, there's these dies, and there's actually a couple of other sets of previous dies in there. There's also some previous actual full kits, and then there's also refills to other kits. So again, to get any of that, you do need to be a current subscriber. And at the time of me filming this, which again is Sunday, November 16th. These dies are still available. They're not on low inventory or anything. So if you like them and you're a subscriber, go ahead and grab them while they're still available. Now, I do want to make mention, this isn't happening yet until December 1st, so I'm kind of giving you a heads up on this. So I made mention of the December kit, what that kit is going to all be about. So what Stampin' Up! Is doing starting December 1st, going through the 9th. So the 10th is the actual cutoff for that December kit. They're doing a Cyber Monday save on prepaid subscriptions. So on the prepaid subscriptions, I do have in the description, I do have this information in there. So when you scroll to the bottom of the description of the video, you're going to see the regular information, like that this was any other time of the year, about purchasing the prepaid subscriptions because we offer it two ways. There's a month-to-month subscription where you can sign up for it. And then on the 11th of each month, you are charged for that particular kit. And then within a day or two, they are being shipped out. Then there is a prepaid subscription where you have the option of purchasing a 3, 6, or a 12 month. um, I have the item numbers for those. I have the regular price, and then there's also you also earn Stampin' Rewards on those as well. What I do want to make mention while I mention Stampin' Rewards is that if you are a customer of mine, or even if you're a customer of any other demonstrator, when you create a profile with that, within the Stampin' Up! Website, and you're shopping with that demonstrator, there is going to be two little boxes that you can opt in for. I want to suggest to please go ahead and click on on both of those opt-in boxes, and here's why. The one opt-in is for Stampin' Rewards. So they changed up how they do the Stampin' Rewards program now, and this has been in place for a few months now. In the past, for every $150 that you were ordering in product, this is before the tax and the shipping, you received 10% of that product total in Stampin' Rewards. So you were able, so say if, and your minimum order had to be like $150, to start getting them. So say for example, you placed a $150 order, then you got $15 in Stampin' Rewards, and you can use those rewards for that order only. So you can choose like any product that you want to be your Stampin' Rewards, even things that are in the last chance and are clearanced. They changed it up to where now, starting at a minimum of $20 in product before the tax and shipping, you start to earn 10% in Stampin' Rewards, which in the end, after you place your order, those Stampin' Rewards you can use towards future orders. And the Stampin' Rewards, they're good for a year. So if you wanted to accumulate some and then place a bigger order and then use those rewards towards it, you could. Um, the thing with this is that these particular kits, so with this sale, um, when, well, let me back it up. Regularly, any other time, not this sale, if you purchased a 3-month prepaid, the cost would be $81. And all these amounts I'm giving you are for here in the US, and you would receive $6 in Stampin' Rewards. If you did a 6-month prepaid, it's 162, and then you would earn $12 in Stampin' Rewards. And then if you did a whole 12-month prepaid subscription, which comes to 324, you would earn $24 in Stampin' Rewards. Now, during this sale, it's the actual kit itself that is discounted, not the shipping. So the shipping is included in the price of the kits. So when it comes to um, the sale, you're gonna get you're gonna earn the rewards on the actual price of the kit minus that shipping. And the shipping again here in the US, it's $7. So during this Cyber Monday Paper Pumpkin prepaid sale that goes again through December 1st through the 9th, your 3-month subscription would be discounted to $61, and then you would earn $4 in Stampin' Rewards. A 6-month would be 122, and you would earn $8 in Stampin' Rewards. And then a 12-month subscription would be $244, and then you would earn $16 in Stampin' Rewards. So again, this sale, it's going to start on December 1st, go through the 9th. So if you want to get this, your December kit, if you wait till December for anywhere between December 1st and 9th, if you want to go and purchase the prepaid subscriptions, it's going to start with your December kit. Now, when it with this, you cannot. I'm sorry, my other phone is like dinging, and it was quiet the whole day, and now all of a sudden it's dinging a lot. But so with this, typically you would get a code when you purchase the prepaid. You would get a code, I believe that is emailed to you, and at that point you can start up that subscription. You can pause it. You can you can kind of skip, and you can usually start that whenever you want. With this promotion, you will have, you will have to do, you can't skip the December kit. The December kit is what's automatically going to be sent to you. Now, after December, January, February, depending on what prepaid amount that you had gotten, you can pause, you can skip, like I said. And normally you could also start it at a later time if you want, but for this sale, you would get the December kit. So I have all this information in the description of the video. And if you have any questions at all, my email address is there as well. Please feel free to reach out, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, so with that, let's kind of get started with our kit. So again, here's my box, a little beaten up a little bit. It's the November 2025 kit called Wrapped in Cheer. I can talk, I promise. In your kits, now I kind of opened my cellophane up and all that, and I kind of pulled out the bits and pieces that I needed. So kind of prepped a little bit before we start. So in your kit, you're going to get colored instructions. You're going to see what the projects look like completed. And you can see that these are like gift tags slash gift boxes. There are a total of 8 in this kit, and they're 2 different designs. So we're going to be making these 2 right here. Um, Inside, you'll see all the things that you need to do with creating each one of them. So with this, there's no worded instructions. It's basically pictures, and then you have the second project, all the info right there. It's telling you what stamps you're using to stamp on your tags. And then it shows you kind of like how to assemble the actual gift box, and then attach your tag onto that. Also, on the back, you do have a picture of all of the components that are part of the kit. It tells you what it's going to create, what the coordinating colors are, and in this kit, it's basic beige, cherry cobbler, mossy meadow, and old olive. Also, it's going to show you those coordinating dies that coordinate with it, and I'm sorry. It's very noisy. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. I apologize for that. I have my windows open and there are people out there. And of course, at the time that you want to, don't mind me, I am like actually adjusting my camera to make sure that everything's kind of straight here. Um, but yeah, it's never fails. I mean, it's a beautiful day here. There's a nice breeze. It's a little bit cooler and I have the windows open. So of course, that's when people are going to be, outside making all this noise and it becomes a distraction as well. So I just wanted to take the time to kind of close my window and the blind a little bit and then my door as well. Now back to this. So again, I apologize for that. So you do have, there is a QR code on here. This will be kind of like a video help. What it is, Stampin' Up! Does like this, like kind of like a fast forwarded type of video showing how, what they're stamping and how they're assembling the kits. And then there's another QR code that will take you to where all the add-ons and where you can find the add-on dies as well. Anything else on this? There's one other thing I'll make mention. At the moment, Paper Pumpkin is only available in North America. So unfortunately, in Europe, it's unavailable, or even in like Australia. So I mean, I think it has something to do kind of like with the whole shipping aspect of it. I'm not 100% sure, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Okay, so here are my two gift boxes. I have all the little components inside of them, and I'm going to set that aside. There is a stamp set. Ahead of time, I kind of cleaned these before we start. And here's the artwork. You are going to get a sheet of the artwork of the stamps. So you have your greenery wreath here. You do have this one stamp that says a gift for you. You have sentiments that say sending a little Christmas cheer from our home to yours, a to and a from, with love, happy holidays, and then Merry Christmas. So even though you finish with your kits, the stamp sets, they're exclusive to the kit, so they're good to use on any other crafting project that you may have. Also, there is some linen thread. Then we have some cherry cobbler. These look like they're frosted dots, so very pretty. You have some mini glue dots and then also some mini dimensionals. The ink spot that is in this kit is Mossy Meadow. And then you have a couple of sheets of die cuts, and these die cuts are double-sided. So you have these sides that are green, and then when you flip it over, here is like a lighter green, like an old olive green. And then you have like basic beige for these cutout pieces as well. So for this one, we're using like this side, and then on this one, we're using the green side. So double-sided punch outs. There are bows, and these bows, the paper that that they're kind of die cut on is almost like a coated watercolor paper is the best way that I can describe them. But you got a sheet of bows, then you have your tags, and then you have your little sentiment strips here, and then there are the punch out tags. Again, that die, I don't know if it's exactly the same size, but it's the same sheet. And these are double-sided too. So you have your cherry cobbler and your mossy meadow on this side. And then on the back, you have your basic beige, and then you have some of that color on the edges of them. This is where you would stamp and you would write any of your sentiments on your tag. And then there are the boxes. So these boxes, they are coded. So if you wanted to put, like, say, cookies or something in there, these are food safe. Now, they're not too big. You can put gift cards in here. You can put little trinkets in here, little pieces of candy in there. And yeah, they're really, really cute. So this would kind of like be our outer side of the box, and this would be the inside. Or if you wanted to flip it and you wanted to put this on the outside, you can do that too. And again, you have enough here to make 8 projects, and um, there are two designs for each. So now let me get this kind of like out of the way. And I have some scrap paper here. I have my list for project number 1 right there. Okay, let me get all my little punch outs. Let's put that back in the box. And we'll put that back in there. Okay, and then with the paper pumpkin kits, what's nice about them, you have everything that you need for the most part in them. A couple additional items to use that they're not necessary, but I find they are very helpful. A take your pick tool. So you got a putty end on one side, and then you got a pokey tool on the other. This is great for picking up like the mini dimensionals, your mini glue dots, picking up your embellishments to put on there. So it's a very useful tool. And then a pair of snips. So I have a pair of scissors. My ribbon is specific. This is for cutting twine or ribbon. And then really that's all you really need. Or if you want a bone folder as well, this would be great for when you go and you fold your scored parts of the box. When you're making a card, it gives you a nice crisp fold. So these are optional tools that, again, Paper Pumpkin is perfect for those that they want to kind of get into paper crafting, but they don't have like all of the tools and the supplies and all that. So what's great about this, that everything is kind of pre-cut for you, kind of pre-done. All you really have to do is stamp and assemble and then basically embellish it. And that's all that's to it. Now some kits, will be will be strictly cards. This one, because now we're kind of like getting closer into Christmas, both October and November kits are going to be Christmas themed. So our last one was cards, and now this one is for more towards like the gifting side of things. So let's bring in everything that we need for our first project. So our first one has the green tag. So we have our box. And then we have our striped label here. So it's one-sided. We have our green tag, and that's what the back of it looks like. So we're going to stamp on the back of this. And then we have some wreath elements. So this is the one where one side it's mossy meadow, this side is old olive. So we're going to have the old olive kind of like face up. Then on the wreath, we are going to actually have the basic beige side facing up. We have one of our bows, and then we have our little gift tag. So one of the things that I want to bring into use, because these stamps are a photopolymer stamp set, they don't have that foam cushioning to the stamp to where you can get a really nice stamped image with it. So for the photopolymers, I'm bringing in my craft foam sheet. And let's see, the stamps that I'm going to need for this particular project. we need the one that says a gift for you, and the little stamp here that says with love. Then we want Merry Christmas for our tag. And then there is a wreath image in here as well. So that's all the stamps that we need. Now, as a first-time subscriber to Paper Pumpkin in your very first kit, you are going to get acrylic block. Now, this one's kind of dirty. It's kind of old. But you will get one of these blocks in your first kit. You keep the block and you can reuse the block in in your future kits for your stamps. For this, because I got multiple stamps and to kind of um, make it a little bit quicker to kind of get through this, I am going to bring in um, my blocks, my regular type ergonomic blocks that we sell in our current catalog. And I'm just going to put these all on their blocks. And let's see. What can we do for our Merry Christmas? That'll work. Okay. So we have our Mossy Meadow ink spot. And on the back of my tag here, we're going to stamp a gift for you. So our little ink spots are different than our full-size ink pads. The little spots, they are felt, whereas our bigger regular size ink pads are foam. So when it comes to the bigger ink pads, you don't want to mash your stamp in there because you will just have ink all over your stamp and your block as well. The little felt ones, you can stamp a little bit harder into them without any problems. Okay, so we have a gift for you, and then we want with love. Okay, and we'll put that right underneath it. I'm trying to get this straight. With love. Okay, and we're done. Oh no, we're not done stamping yet. Okay, so there's our tag. We'll put that aside. Then on our little label here, we're going to stamp our Merry Christmas. And again, on these, you can change up the greeting if you want to put, what's the other greeting? Happy Holidays. If that fits on the label, you could feel free to use that greeting instead. But I'm going to do my Merry Christmas like so. And I really like this script font that they use on that greeting. Okay, so we have that. And then we're going to bring in, this tag again. This time we're going to flip it over to our green side here. And then we're going to ink up this wreath. Now with photopolymer stamps, what you want to do before you use them, you do want to clean them. In the photopolymer processing on making the stamps, there is like this film that will be on the side with the images on them. When you clean them, I use a Stampin' Scrub. It's going to clean off and remove that film that's on them, and they will also stamp a little bit better. So like if you go to stamp and you find your image isn't stamping very well, two things you can do is like clean the stamp it a couple of times, clean it again, and then also use like a foam mat. This again is our Stampin' Pierce mat. You can use you can get like that fun foam from the craft stores, and you can use that. Anything that's going to give you a little bit of a cushion when you go to stamp, and that's how you can get a good stamped image with your photopolymer stamps. All right, so we have all our stamping done. Now also in the instructions, they're going to show you exactly where your placement of your Stampin' Dimensionals are going to be. So you have Stampin' Dimensionals, and then these little dark dots right here, these are going to be your glue dots. So it's basically showing you where the placement of your adhesive is going to be on this. So let's set these aside, and then let's take our bow and we'll flip that over, and then our greeting, we'll flip that over, and then let's see where else we're going to. So the green is going to be facing down, this part's going to be facing up. So like I said, in the picture it's going to show you exactly where to place things on your images, and then on this one we're going to flip this over. Okay, so let's get our dimensionals and our little glue dots. Okay, then we have our little embellishments, very cute embellishments at that. Okay, I got my take your pick tool, and I'm going to pull up one of my little mini dimensionals, and this is going to go right here in the middle of my bow. And then we have one on either end of our greeting banner here. All right, and then on this bigger wreath right here, let me see how they have this placed. Okay, so right there, and we're going to add one. Ooh, let's see, where are we adding one? That is going to kind of be, okay. And then they got another one over here. Okay, and then for this little tiny one here, we're going to add blue dot right here. Let's see, and then one down here. Okay, so they just have two. All right, so now we're going to flip this over, and we will remove the paper backing off of our glue from our glue dots. Okay, and then we're going to take, let's see, we're going to place this right over it like so, and kind of press that down a little bit. Okay, and then let's see, what else do we need to do here? On the back of this, we're going to add 3 dimensionals. So kind of do in the middle. Okay, like so. All right, so now let's see. Okay, so this isn't being adhered down, so this is going to kind of be tied onto that. So on the front of this, we are going to take our wreath, and we are going to place that right over our stamped one. So kind of press that down. And then our Merry Christmas, we are going to place that. Am I still on the screen? I want to place that right over our wreath like so. And then we have our bow. We'll put that on last. Okay, so we need 12 inches of our linen thread, so let me get that. And what's also nice about these instructions as well, there is a ruler on the side of it. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm doing two of them, I'm going to cut the two at the same time. So you do have your ruler here on this side. And then I'm going to need these. And so I'm going to measure my 12 inches. And I'll kind of like fold this in half. Like so. And then I'll snip this. And then I'll cut another one right there. So I have my two strands for the two tags that I'm going to do. All right, so I'll put that aside. All right, so back to our first project. Okay, so let's see, what are we doing here? We are going to take these two tags and we're going to put them together. Let's see. Okay, it just looks like they got it in here and then they tie them together. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to tie it really tight because I want to be able to have that tag kind of be loose where you can actually flip it and you can see what's on the back side of it. So we'll do our bow like so. Okay, and then we're going to take this other bow here, remove that paper backing, and then this will go right over the top. Whoops. Right over the top, like so. Okay, so there's, you can write on the back of that, and this is going to be the part that's going to adhere to our box. So let's bring in our box. So we want to fold and burnish on all of our score lines here. When you score on these, it's going to make your box go together a little bit easier, and everything will just kind of pop into place nicely. Your box won't look like it's just disformed. Is that the way I want to word it? We're just going to burnish on all of these score lines. And then we got this side. It's like a very mini version of how the paper pumpkin boxes look. And because the paper pumpkin boxes, they're not glued together, they're actually popped in place like this. At one time we actually did sell. Now, putting the box together, you got these little tabs right here. So these are going to kind of like fold in. And then you're going to take this part here on the end with the tab. You're going to kind of fold this over. Make sure those tabs are underneath. And then you'll just put this over and you'll just lock it in place with that little notch that's at the end of the box, like so. And then do the same thing on this side. Let me kind of fold this back so you could see it. So you got your two little flaps right there. Put them in and then go over. Being fussy because of the lid here. And then I'm going to go over them, kind of like putting them underneath this tab. And then I'm just going to press this in place because there's the little tab on the bottom. Okay, and then so you can put whatever little treat or whatever you want in there. So we'll close up the box like so. So you have this cute little gift box. And then let me see which side they actually put the tag on. So you can see the opening. So this would be the top of the box. And then remove your backings. Hold on one second. Just wanted to close my blinds all the way because kids are out there running around and sometimes they like to be nosy and look in my windows, and so they don't need to know what it is that I'm doing in here. Okay, so then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to place this straight over in the middle of the top of the box, kind of press it down, and there we go. So they've got your little finger cut out right there to where you can open up the box. And you have your little gift tag, and you can do your writing on this side. So there is our first project. So let me put that aside and let's work on the second one. So the second one's going to pretty much be very, very similar with just a different color combination and kind of layout on it. Okay, so on this one, let me pull out my pieces. On this one, let me get my Stampin' Scrub and let me clean my stamps. And then swap out any that we need. And it looks like we're using totally different stamps on this one. Okay. So we want Sending Christmas Cheer. So put that on there. And From Our Home to Yours. Okay, so those are the only two that we need. So let's bring in our Stampin' Pierce mat, the back of this tag, and we're going to ink up our Sending Christmas Cheer. And we'll stamp that. Okay, and then we'll ink up From Our Home to Yours. Okay, and then we'll stamp that right down here. Really cute little font on this print. Really like that font. It's really cute. Okay, so that's all the stamping for this one. So let's move that out of the way. So we have a bow for this one as well. Bring in these pieces. And let's see, we're going to flip that over, and we got our dimensionals. I might get off. Okay, so we got that. We'll set that aside. And then we have, this is our greenery piece. So the greenery part is going to be up near the top. And for this one, we're going to use our glue dots. And we're going to add, it makes it really easy because they show you in the diagram exactly where to place these. Okay, and one right here. And then we'll just press those down. And then we have this part here, our greenery part. Well, actually, it's going to be this side that's going to be facing up. And again, we're using glue dots on here. And we got right there. And then one right down here. Okay. So, oh, you know what we didn't do on the first one? We didn't put our embellishments on there. We'll put the embellishments on when we go to put them on this project. Okay, so then what do we have? The back of this, we're going to add our dimensionals on the back of this as well. And I'm kind of doing them more like in the middle instead of up near the top, because this is going to adhere to the top of that box. Okay, so then on this one, let's add all of our stuff on here. So they are showing our pieces. We're going to place these kind of like down on top of each other. So let's take the paper backings off. Okay, and then we're going to place this right on top, like so. Just kind of like press these down. Okay, and then we are going to take the backings off of this. So this part isn't being popped up on our label. Got one more right here. Okay, and then this is going to go, now I don't want to cover up that little hole there where we're going to put our twine. So I'm going to just place that on there, and I want to press down, and those glue dots are going to hold our greenery piece here down. Okay, and then we're going to get our other piece of twine here, and we'll line these two pieces up, and we'll tie them together and create our bow. And I forgot to put my other bow on top. We'll stick that on there here in a second. And then we got to remember to put our pretty red embellishments on here. Okay, and again, we're not going to tie this too tight. We want it to be a little bit loose so you can see that top label and the greeting that's on the back of it. Okay, so there's our bow on that one. And again, you can flip it over. And then we're going to take this bow and this little dot, these dots here from these other die cuts, we're going to place this right on top of that, like so. So there's that. Let's put together our box just like the other one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, when you burnish these score lines, it just makes everything go together. It looks very it doesn't look like all bulged out because everything is kind of burnished and scored or burnished actually. They're already scored. So you have those nice sharp fold lines. Okay, so again, this side, these little flaps are going to go in. Let me actually fold this back so then you can see a little bit better. So these come in, and then this will fold over, and then it will lock. That little tab will lock right in place on the bottom here. Repeat it on the other side. And then lock that in place. So we got, and whoops, our little tabby did not go in there. So let me pop this up a little bit, just to kind of pop it out of that. Pop out. Okay. That's in there now, and then let's put it back, lock it back in place, and then we'll close our box like so. And then here, let me, so I did fold that back, so let me fold it again. Put that there, and then let's put our tag on. Okay, and we'll just have this label on there straight. Press that down. Okay, now let's bring in our other one, and let's put our pretty cherry cobbler frosted dots on here. Okay, kind of move that out of the way. On this one, and see where they got them. Hold on, let me look at the finished photo on the front to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so this is gonna go, let's see, we got it right there. So there's 3 on each of these, and then we have one more right up here like so. So there's that one, and then on this one we have it on our wreath. So we have one, put one right there. Hold on, where's the other one? This one only have 2 on it? No, it has 3. Okay, there's one right down. Hold on. It's kind of popped up, so we got one stuck right there. Okay, so there is our 2 projects. So cute, you know, very similar laid out tags. You got your greeting and stuff stamped on the backs of these, and we don't have it tied too tight, so then you can flip it and you can write on it, and then the receiver can see your little message on it. So some really nice die cut elements to decorate our labels, and also some really nice fonts in the greetings as well. And then we really have this cute little box. Again, it is coated, so these are food safe. Like you can put a cookie in there if you wanted. You can put like little candies in there, little chocolates. You can put a gift card in there. You can put little trinkets in there. whatever you can fit into this cute little box, it'll be perfect. So there are the projects from the November Wrapped in Cheer Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you like the projects that I have made for you today, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. It not only helps me in growing this YouTube channel, it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up! Business. It helps with the whole YouTube algorithm, and it puts my videos out there in front of viewers that like doing paper crafting. And if they search for paper pumpkin or whatever, or Christmas, then they'll see my video come up in their feed. And the likes, the shares, the comments, all of that also helps as well. All those actions are truly, truly appreciated. Um, like I mentioned, there is going to be a Cyber Monday sale coming up starting on December 1st on the prepaid, the 3/6. Oh, wait, is it 3/6 or 3? Hold on. You think I would have this figured out? Hold on. You think I would have this figured out, guys? What is it? It's 3, 6, and 12. There used to be an option for 1, but they did away with that. So it's for 3, 6, and 12. So they are discounted. It looks, yeah, like about $20 on the 3 month. About, well, $40 on the 6 month, and then um about 80 on the 12 month, and you still do earn Stampin' Rewards. They're a little bit less because again, it's going to be the Stampin' Rewards are based off of the price of the kit itself. Because these kits include the shipping, and the shipping is $7, so it brings it down just a little bit. But again, the sale starts December 1st, and it goes through the 9th. Again, when you do the prepaid subscription, you typically can choose when you want to start it. However, for this cyber sale, um, automatically you are going to get December's kit. Now, after um, when it hits December 11th, that's going to be the opening subscription period for the let's see the no the January kit. So at that point, if January's is not what you're really interested, you can actually pause it for a month, and you can just restart it, after that subscription period is over. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to stop by and watch. Again, as far as Paper Pumpkin goes, I do have a lot of playlists out there for my channel. So I have a playlist just with strictly all my Paper Pumpkin kits. I have playlists for my Friday Night Lives and also my Throwback Thursdays. So if you want some inspiration, be sure to go and check that out. And again, if you're interested in my newsletter and knowing what video content I'm going to be doing for that month, consider my newsletter. Again, the link for it is in the description. And again, just to make a little, like I mentioned at the very beginning, if you happen to be a customer of mine, no matter what it is that you're ordering, whether it's the kits or whatever, and this would apply if you're ordering from another demonstrator as well. When you create your profile, if you had already done it a while back, kind of look at it, make sure that you are opted in to receive the Stampin' Rewards because it's not automatic. I've had a couple of customers when they ordered from me for the first time, they didn't opt in for it, so then they kind of lost out on those Stampin' Rewards that they had earned for that particular order. So you definitely want to click on that. And then the other opt-in, I can't speak for other demonstrators, but I will say this for those of you that are a customer of mine. please consider clicking on the opt-in for contact. Again, that is for me to be able to have Stampin' Up! uh, directly ship the new catalog directly to you. The cost savings on it is significant, so it's a lot cheaper for me to send a catalog out that way rather than me physically putting in the mail. Now, again, I don't have a problem sending it out, but when we have a new catalog coming out, if I can have most of them sent out that way, then that helps tremendously. And if you have any questions at all, if you want to receive a catalog, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my email address is in the description. When you click on that, when you opt in for the contact, at least with me, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not sending out any communications through my Stampin' Up! Website. The only thing that I send out is my newsletter, and that is through another provider. And again, with that, I only send one out near the beginning of the month. I don't send them out every day. I don't send them out every week. The only other time I'm going to send it out, maybe for that same month, is if Stampin' Up! Comes up with a promotion that we didn't know about at the beginning when I first created and sent out that first initial newsletter. So again, if you're interested in receiving that, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you would like to receive that and know what I'm going to be doing as far as video content for the month, feel free to click on that link. And all it is just put in your first and last name and your email address, and then you're good to go. When I'm ready to do my next newsletter, then yeah, you're on my list, and just one click of a button, and boom, I have everybody who is subscribed have that one newsletter go and mail out to everybody at the same time. So again, thank you everybody for taking the time to watch. And like I said, there's plenty of video content out there. And one little thing I will mention is that on my Friday Night Lives, I do create PDFs for the projects that I have done. So there's colored pictures, there's dimensions, there's a list of supplies, the pictures of the projects, and there's also a link in the date that when you click on that, it actually takes you to the actual video that I did for those projects. So there are like 93 of them sitting out there right now. They stem all the way back from January 26th of 2024. That's when I first did my Friday Night Live. So lots of inspiration that's out there. They are free. So if you click on that link, you'll find that link in my Friday night live videos. In the description, it's just above the list of supplies. And yeah, so you can get some inspiration. Maybe you have those products, and yeah, so it's just a little bit of like a little gift from me to everyone who just wants some inspiration. So thank you again, everybody. I know I've said that a few times now, but this is it. Thank you again for taking the time to watch. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your day, weekend, evening, whatever it may be. And stay safe, stay cool, stay warm, depending on where you're at. But most of all, be blessed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.